Chad Zumock. We are on old Chad Zumock's radar. We have gotten under old Chad's skin, and it didn't take much. We made fun of Chad, once or twice?
Barely touched on him, I feel.
According to Chad, we do a whole show on him.
Oh, that's sweet.
I know.
That's really cute,
Our
actually.
little baby boy Chad, radio boy Chad. He has little delusions of grandeur.
I actually haven't even gotten to dig in on Chad yet.
This is something, like I said, Chad Zumock, I said this months ago. I said he's going to be the new Stuttering John. When this whole Stuttering John empire collapses, Chad Zumock will be left as the guy people snicker at.
Sure.
Because he has a lot of John-isms about him. Number one, the delusions of grandeur. He's absolutely got that. I think he's got like 1,500 YouTube subscribers. His show he did on the 17th has 11 views.
God bless.
And he has a Patreon that I think has 80 people on it.
Okay.
So Chad Zumock is not doing well. But if you ask Chad Zumock, like he's talked on the phone with Anthony Cumia before. He's been on Kevin Brennan's show as like his intern producer guy. So Chad Zumock thinks he's right on the cusp. I mean, Chad ain't giving up.
He's right there.
And he's also got the Stuttering John thing where if you make fun of Chad Zumock, that means you're doing a whole show on him. He has to believe that. Otherwise, what's he going to tell himself? All these people are making fun of me and mocking me accurately? No, you'd blow your fucking head off if you had to think what the reality of the situation was.
You'd think.
At the very least, you'd quit the business. But instead, he's tricked himself into going, Karl, Aaron, all these guys, they do their shows on me.
They obsess over me.
I guess. Yeah, Opie does that too. So Chad Zumock is like, oh my God. Chad Zumock is as if Opie and Stuttering John procreated and their baby Chad was born, and he's the worst parts of both of them.
Little Chad, we have to swaddle him and
we have to
keep
swaddle
him safe.
Little Chadwick. So here's Chad Zumock on his latest episode of his show. And wouldn't you know it, guys, Chad has heard of steel toe. But Chad has the Tony Michaels disease, where Chad gets too nervous to bring up other people because he's worried it might make him look less than. So he pretends he doesn't know who they are, but then tells you everything about them.
Okay. Never a name drop, I'm guessing.
Not a name drop. He'll do it with Karl because Karl, I don't know, Who Are These Podcasts is just too big to pretend. You can't bring up Karl from Who Are These Podcasts and then pretend you've never heard of Who Are These Podcasts.
He's kind of a big deal.
But our show, like Stuttering John did that reference. We goes, he mentioned the Uncle Rico show, Who Are These Podcasts? And then there's one guy who does 2 shows on me a day. So Chad's got the Stuttering John disease where because there's 2 whole clips, and every time we've talked about Chad, it's up as a clip. So we talked about Chad 2 whole times on our show. And Chad has the Stuttering John disease where he goes, they do all their shows on me.
So
Sorry, buddy, 2 clips.
You see a clip and you think that's the whole show.
He has to. He has to lie.
Sorry.
And by the way, Chad, I don't know why you have to lie. Nobody's listening. So it's not like you lying to these people is going to trick your 5 friends that you do open mics with that we suck and you're awesome. They should already be in your corner, but it's a quick mention here, quick reference from Chad Zumock on his Captain and Gay First Mate on the Couch show, I think is what it's called. This is a really terrible program.
Seems hacky.
Appropriately. He is a radio guy, and not a radio guy like I was, where we did a talk show and we tried to break all the rules on the radio and we hated radio and it was terrible. He was like a radio guy, like, hey, everybody, how you doing? Let's play by the rules and do a wacky morning show. That kind of a guy.
He embraced it.
Then radio fell apart on him. Then he tried comedy. He sucked at that. Now he's trying podcasting. He can't make it go.
Got it.
Can't even hang on by his fingernails like we are.
Well, I think that's why he keeps talking about the big guys who are supposedly obsessing over him.
So what's funny about Chad is he got caught trying to do the Stuttering John meta, we'll call it, like the hot tub meta.
Okay.
He got caught trying to do the Stuttering John meta. It blew up in his face because everyone went, no, fuck you, dude. You're as embarrassing as John is. You suck. In fact, again, Frank Pellegrino did credit Steel Toe with getting the ball rolling on that.
Sure.
I always defer to Karl, but I'll take the credit. Like, if you want to give it to me, I'll take it.
You'll go to bed snuggling with that idea.
Absolutely. Not with Frank himself. No disrespect, Frank.
Yeah, I heard is he a fiance now?
I hered that he was a
That's
fiance,
kind of cool.
which is wonderful.
I think I saw that they had a kid.
He's going to be Mr. Frank Mayer. Frank, I'm fucking kidding.
That is funny.
I was only kidding, Frank. So anyway, Chad Zumock is doing his show, and somebody must have heard some steel toe clips and must have got a little bit upset.
Oh, buddy.
Here's Chad Zumock.
I've never met anybody as desperate as that guy trying to get something going.
He's talking about Ray DeVito in that clip. Now, at the 5-minute mark is where he mentions us.
Oh, I thought you smelled
But this guy is, and I think it's some girl. They're like, I don't even know. They're from like Minnesota.
There's some girl, I think. I don't know. No, there's a girl, dipshit.
I think some girl.
I think there's some
Wow.
girl, and I think they're from Minnesota. How would you know we're from Minnesota unless you've looked into it? There's nothing about our show that says Minnesota except maybe the way we talk. But us mentioning it and you looking up steel toe, you can find out it's from Minnesota.
I understand the confusion, though, where Chad does largely call me a man.
That's true.
That could be.
Chad, don't be this sad sack of shit who doesn't know how to play this game. Don't make it so obvious. I feel like I'm hitting a crippled piñata. It's fucking embarrassing, Chad. Just admit you listened to it. You listen to people who shit on you. It bothers you. It gets to you. And then hit me back. Don't do the thing where you just lie and look pathetic while you're sitting on your rented futon and your terrible gay captain hat and your cringy sunglasses. Chad, be honest with yourself, all right? Liberate yourself. Don't live this lie of a hacky radio man.
Say our name.
Just say it openly. Say what you know. Don't be Tony Michaels. That's your goal, Chad. By the next time you broadcast, and God knows you're going to hear this, I want you to be better than Tony Michaels by the next time I hear your show. Chad, I'm going to be air checking you, just like the old days. I'm going to be catching up on your progress, young man. And by the next time I hear you broadcasting, I want to hear you be better than Tony Michaels. Because right now, you're a hiccup away from shouting, drive in, drive out, drive through.
Oh, God.
Let's listen to Chad not know anything about our show while telling us everything about our show.
Okay.
Oh, they're like, I don't even know. They're from like Minnesota. Now they're doing a podcast on me. I'm like, who are you people?
He doesn't seem rattled, though.
Hey, I don't think he's rattled yet.
He doesn't seem rattled at all. And then that coping thing where he goes, I think they're doing a podcast on me. No, Chad. See, we do 5 morning shows a week and 3 evening shows a week. Once a week, we're going to check in on you and we're going to kick your teeth in when you're being terrible, which is probably going to be once a week. That's not doing a podcast on you, Chad. Don't flatter yourself, sugar tits. It's not going to be, we'll maybe jokingly mention your dry bar special, and then we'll make fun of your show. Your desperate attempt. This guy, what I love about Chad is he desperately tries to get in with the Kumias, with the Karls, with all those guys. And then when they turn him down, he turns all jilted bitch and goes, dude, I don't fucking like those guys anyway. Anthony Kumi, he's like stuttering. He's exactly like John. Where as soon as you go, no, get the fuck out of here, Chad. Oh, okay, Pocky. You committed assault against a girl.
Instant name calling.
Yeah, it's just instant, like bringing up the worst shit you can.
Oh, yeah.
But
what do I have on him?
Right, but you were just sucking his dick like 5 minutes ago, and he rebuffed you, so you had to make it look like you were the tough guy.
But they're all just trying to get clicks, whatever they can do to get clicks and people to watch.
I mean, would you like some tips, Chad? Because it looks like you could use some clicks and some views.
I don't think this other guy understands anything about podcasting. He hasn't said a word.
I don't even think he's a guy. I think he's just
a mannequin.
I think he's just his buddy. And he's like, look, nobody else will work with me.
Sure.
Will you just sit there and nod while I talk about people I pretend to not know?
And wear the captain's hat with me.
And wear the captain's hat, or we can't be gay buddies together. And please wear a jacket from the 80s. I need that.
And that's exactly what Kevin and fucking Gino are doing. They're trying to generate some sort of drama and get some.
Wow. What a couple. Now, first of all, fucknut, you're going to make me do something I don't want to do. April, do you know the thing I don't want to do?
To prove him wrong?
No, I don't want to defend Gino Bisconte.
Oh, okay, yes, okay.
I don't want to defend Gino.
Maybe don't do that either.
But at least Gino and Kevin, yeah, this Chad Zumock thinks that trying to get something going and get people talking is a bad thing. Do you know how many people renewed their Compound Media subscriptions who had let it lapse for years?
Just to see that.
Just to see this Kevin Brennan, Gino Bisconte thing?
Yep.
A lot of people did.
Yep.
So people like Chad Zumock are such losers because they'll sit there with their shitty equipment and their no effort, and they'll fail. And when they fail, they'll go like, well, of course I failed. I don't put any effort into it. I have this shitty mic and they use it as a crutch for failure. And then they'll criticize the people that are trying to get something going.
You're right.
By saying, oh, they're just trying to get something going. Well,
wouldn't you?
Yeah, Chad. I mean, no offense, Chad, but that's kind of what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know if they didn't teach you this in broadcasting school or whatever it is, pal, but you're supposed to be getting hits.
I'm not even sure why podcast if that's not what the goal is.
Right.
I mean, we're certainly not sitting here doing this just for fun.
Now, is it Chad Zumock or am I supposed to call him Oh Captain, My Captain?
That one.
I'm confused. Okay, so it's Oh Captain, My Captain.
I would assume with the costume he's wearing.
So that was his quick little reference to Steel Toe that he did. But he's still a little too bothered by Steel Toe to lean in and mention us by name.
Yeah, just the guy and I think some girl from Minnesota, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
By the way, Chad, if you want to become a member and deep dive into our shit, you can. But we do not accept stolen credit cards, sir. So it's going to have to be yours, all right? I don't want to be involved in whatever kind of thing you're involved in, all right? I'm not criticizing a man for making his living, okay? You do what you have to do. I just don't want to be involved, Chad. If it's stolen credit cards, it's stolen credit cards. I would hope you're over it by now. But whatever you do to support our program, I certainly want it to be above board and legal, okay?
I would agree to that.
All right. Now, what I want to play for you guys now is Chad being very upset at Karl of Who Are These Podcasts.
Oh, no. What'd Karl do?
He did the same thing we did. Dared to have a show more successful than Chad.
Jesus Christ. What a crime.
That's about the crime that Karl and I committed. We had a show bigger than Chad Zumock, and he's very upset about this. And he decided to take it out on poor Karl. And he pulled rank on our buddy Karl from Who Are These Podcasts.
Seems like a ballsy move.
He let Karl know, and I don't know if Karl's ever going to recover from this. I wish I could. I might text him tonight or tomorrow.
Just make sure somebody's heard from him.
I might make sure Karl's okay because Chad Zumock let Karl know that he was cool in high school. Yeah.
Oh.
And you thought the captain hat was the douchiest thing he did.
Oh, no.
This is from I Love These Guys. These guys are very cool to us. They're awesome. Go subscribe to them. Let's put their whole logo up there. The Insufferable Bastards podcast. These guys are very funny.
They are good.
They kind of track these guys and keep track of them. Let's go ahead and play the clip of Chad Zumock talking about Karl from Who Are These Podcasts. And let's see if we can find any delusional Chad in here.
With this comment.
And by the way, don't act like the difference between me and you, I was popular in high school.
Oh.
What's the difference between me and you? You moved on in life and I was still big in high school.
How old is this guy? 45?
I think like in his 40s or 50s maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say 47 maybe. Like
Yeah.
you can't be...
Chad.
If you're looking to get like clout over somebody else, you can't be pulling up your rep in high school.
Chad, this is gross. You know what this makes you, right? And this is going to hurt me to say as much as it's going to hurt you to hear. You're a less accomplished Al Bundy.
Oh, no. That's not
Al
good.
Bundy, the character, had a thriving shoe sales career. And he had a house. And he had a wife. And he had a couple of kids.
Family. Yep. Family man.
Chad Zumock can't crack 100 patrons on Patreon and can't get a paid gig.
Oh, well, you're just trying to get something going, and he's going to get there, Aaron.
Oh, Chad, we can't be pushing 50 and talking about how cool we are in high school. Like, that's, like, I can't even make fun of that. You just handed Karl a point. Karl's really good at being a dick and talking shit about people, and you just handed that guy a point, Chad.
He didn't lift a finger on that one.
Oof.
Okay? I played sports.
Oh.
I was class clown, class cutest. I had that superlative.
Bro, are you quoting your yearbook stats?
That is a yearbook thing where, you know, people vote on like, oh, couples that should have been together. That's a 45-year-old man
Is
now.
Chad Zumock quoting his yearbook stats like he flipped over a Michael Jordan basketball card?
You got it.
Oh, Chad, you were class clown, were you? Were you most likely to be on SNL? How'd that work out, kiddo?
But he played sports, Aaron.
Oh, he played sports, bro.
That means he was good with a plunger.
Yeah. Now, did you sodomize the freshman, or were you one of the freshmen who was sodomized? What do you think? Keep it to yourself. Don't say it out loud. Make Chad wonder.
I got it.
I think you know what we're going to say, though, Chad.
Got an idea.
Yeah.
I've always been around the cool kids. That crew is not cool. I know it's your time to shine, and you think you're part of the cool kids now. Chrissy Mayer, Alex Stein, and a fucking 63-year-old drunk Anthony Cumia who may or may not have choked Vinnie Brand's daughter. Your crew's not cool.
Oh, see, by the way, Chad, you mean all the people you tried to get in with and failed? If this isn't Chad oozing with jealousy over what Karl has happened to make, who are these podcasts, I don't know what is.
Right. Cool or not, it's kind of a matter of perspective, but they're all very successful.
I know this, Chad.
So-
I know they're not wearing a gay
Sorry.
captain's hat while they're doing their shows with some stranger who, from what we know, basically lives on somebody's patio.
For 11 viewers.
Chad, you can say who the cool kids are and who the cool kids aren't. You can make those opinions. But I do know that Karl, Anthony, and Chrissy don't do their shows in a gay captain hat on a futon with poor acoustics. So there's that part, Chad. Just trying to set you straight, buddy, because it just seems like you are Captain Cope. All these people that Karl's running with are the people you tried to get in with, and you know what hurts the most, Chad? They rejected you. That's what happened. They said no. It's not that you didn't want to sit at that table, and now Karl's sitting there and they're all nerds. You tried to sit at the table. They knocked your fucking tray out of your hand and said, get out of here, you creep.
They pulled a Mean Girls. You can't sit with us.
Right. You're Regina George after she was eating Caltine bars. Deep cut.
Oh, man.
That was Anthony Cumia going, you can't sit with us.
It's not a cool crew.
I'm in.
You guys aren't the cool kids. And not one of you will approach me. Not one of you, because you're all fucking keyboard warriors and dorks.
Oh, wow. Is he really pulling the you won't say it to my face? Chad, I'd scream it at you. Are you kidding me?
Aaron doesn't say anything that he wouldn't say to anyone's face.
Stut Joe Jr. Stut Joe Jr. There you go, Chad. Right to your face all day. I'll scream it outside your window.
You know, though,
Little Opie. Little Opie.
he would take the wrong thing out of that, though. He's like, well, that just means I'm going to be the next star on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be,
Chad, listen. They do background checks for the Stern show. You wouldn't pass, not with your record.
Oh.
Not with the stolen credit card thing. But Chad, Anthony and Opie want to kill each other. They hate each other. Anthony would rather do a show with Opie than do one with you, Chad. I'm sorry, you've got very little upside, kid. Maybe someday when you're all grown up, you'll figure out how to get an audience. But for now, try not to shit on the people you tried to leech an audience off of and failed, you fucking mooch. You're worse than John. At least John brought some people with him from his Stern days. He's probably got some listeners from there.
Yep.
Chad, you tried to grab and leech on from everyone else. They rejected you, and now you're shitting on them. Chad, you're not fooling anybody. You're transparent, buddy. You're cellophane. You're see-through.
Where did this guy come from? Where did he come from? Because I wouldn't even know.
I believe wherever you find, if you take a Geiger counter,
Okay.
and wherever you have the highest concentration of douche, I believe that's where he comes from.
Back in high school.
Yeah,
probably.
back in high school.
Somewhere in a
bro.
high school.
He's got a visor on, his fucking hair spiked up. Oh,
He's
did.
that guy with the
He
cool
definitely-
sunglasses all the time.
He definitely at some point in his life wore a visor with spiked up hair. Oh, Chad.
Karl, I know you guys live in the little bubble, but you go around my crew, which is cool.
Wait, time out, Chad. Who is your crew? Hey, the people who
The captains, man.
The people you stole credit cards from don't count. You were legally obligated to be around them in court. That's totally different, Chad.
He calls his hangouts the captain's quarters.
Oh, the captain's corners.
Quarters.
Oh, and when they go out and they go to bars and stuff, they're like, oh, what's going to be our catch of the night when they're looking for girls?
Oh, you know that's true.
For him, it's always a 52-year-old grandma. Third generation single mom.
Oh, now I'm just sad.
I know. Chad does have a sad existence.
Come on.
But fuck him. He pulls this shit.
I want better for him.
Karl is my friend. He's my internet friend. We have done each other's shows. I will defend my internet friend
Imagine like
from the big bad cool high school bully.
imagine trying to hang on to that one thing to make your whole existence, though.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute, Karl, you better be careful with this Chad Zumock. He might give you a swirly.
Oh no, not a swirly.
Karl, if you're not careful, he might give you a wedgie at recess. Oh, God. Chad was cool in high school.
Like going to New York, hanging out with Godfrey and Artie Fuqua, getting girls, and that's cool. That's cool. This Friday,
Chad plays sports and gets girls with Artie Fuqua, bro.
You're missing the point. He gets girls.
I'm gonna get.
What
in
do
touch.
you get?
I'm having Godfrey.
Fucking guys.
I'm gonna get Godfrey on this show, and I'm gonna go. Hey, what's up with Chad Zumock? You'd be like, who? Oh yeah, whenever we drink with him, he always puts the tab on one of his stolen credit cards. You're a real cool guy.
Did you just?
Boca,
Godfrey, he's a black comedian. You wouldn't know him.
hanging out with Jim Brewer. That's fun. That's a good time. Sold out show. That's a cool crew.
Yeah, well, yeah, they like you because you make $150 a night and you still offer to pay the tab.
Hell yeah.
A couple months ago, hanging out with Brewer and Florentine in Naples. That was fun. That's a good crew. Rochester.
I've performed and hung out with Florentine before, too. You don't see me fucking bragging about it. You know why? Because he was paid to do a job, and so was I. And then he was like one of the coolest guys in the world and hung out and drank with us after. But you don't see me go, oh, yeah, Brewer, you Florentine, yeah, he's the cool. Oh, you're name-dropping Brewer, and you're name-dropping guys you did 15 minutes for, dude. And you're 50. That's gross.
You're certainly not like wearing that on your collar like as a resume, right?
Chad, that's gross.
Your boys, that's not a cool crew. You guys aren't cool. Nothing cool about you. And
Oh my God, he's got more gaps. You could drive a truck through these fucking gaps. Not only that, he's out of things to say. He just repeats himself over and over.
It really is almost uncomfortable how long the gaps are.
guarantee that half room, I want to see the attendance because it'll probably be little to none.
I saw, by the way, I will attest to this. I saw the pictures of Karl's, who are these podcasts, his last two live events. Mm-hmm. They were both jam-packed.
I can imagine.
They were both packed.
Yeah.
People fucking love that show. Yeah, by the way, does Chad come off as at all bitter or jealous here?
Boy, I don't think I'm there yet.
Just a little.
Just a sprinkle.
And is it steroids or what is it? Because every time we listen to Chad, he's breathing really heavy by the time it's over.
I always like to imagine it's because he's that worked up that he didn't get to where these guys are that he's so upset about.
But remember, it doesn't bother him. And he's in the cool kids.
Unbothered.
Yeah.
I guarantee they all come up to me and talk to me. It's just those lists. I know you try to manipulate and control the narrative. I know you're the king of.
Chad, nobody gives a fuck about you this much, dude. You interject yourself into all these. Chad's the guy who begs for a fight, gets his fucking teeth kicked in, and then complains that he got hit.
I couldn't pick this guy out of a lineup, if I'm being honest.
Yes, you could. He's the one in the gay captain's hat.
Okay, if we're all wearing captain's hats, though.
Oh, okay. Well, then fair enough.
Okay.
Of Reddit. You're the king of fake accounts.
He's the fucking trees. He's the tree meister.
I like how he's talking about fake accounts.
He counts on them.
He stole credit cards, didn't he?
But make no
Yeah, Chad, you
Fake
literally
accounts?
have fake accounts
What
from
is-
the people you stole from.
You know what? I don't have a point.
mistake about it. I am the best comedian in that club that evening.
Oh, no.
Oh, gross.
Stop that right now.
That is a lie. Fucking if Daniel Bobo Curlin is in that room. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
If what's the weirdo's name who was with Artie Lang for a while? If Mike, goddamn, the guy with the big glasses, Artie's co-host when he was on radio for a while. Mike Buschetti. If Mike Buschetti's in the room, Chad, you're not the funniest comic in the room.
Okay, that's the facts.
Oh, he is.
When I go to the Orlando Improv on the 27th,
Whoa.
I am the best comedian in the club that night. The best.
Chad.
I think we got to just let him have this one. He's right.
Chad, this is not something to brag about when you're 50, bro. You're not supposed to be going, oh, funniest guy at the Orlando Improv. Yeah, I know, but you should be planning for your Social Security checks, Chad. Like, you're getting up there, bud. Stealing credit cards is not a retirement plan.
That is a very solid point.
You've got to figure this shit out, Chad. You got to stop being so jealous of Karl, Anthony. I tell you what, you really got to quit this shit because you're starting to get jealous of myself and April, and that's gross. Nobody should be jealous of April and I.
This is literally a mom and pop shop right now.
We're hanging on like this, Chad. All right? We're hanging on like that, making payroll for everybody
Suction
every
cups.
month. Don't you fucking get jealous of us, Chad. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're doing infinitely better than you are, but still, nothing to be jealous
We
of.
certainly put effort in.
Yeah.
Our whole team does.
Might be the saddest part. See, Chad, that's called an ability to laugh at oneself. Continue, jealous guy.
It's a fact. And do your little research, your little homework.
Yeah, you fucking nerds with
Yeah.
your calculators.
Go back to high school, bro.
Nerds, dorks.
Worked more this year as a stand-up comedian as Chrissy, Kevin Brennan, and Gino combined.
And even Gino Bisconte makes more money than you. You know what? Fuck it. Chad Zumock, you're making me say it. Peace between Gino Bisconte and I.
No offense. I've seen all of them posting about their tour dates and shit a hell of a lot more than I've ever seen his name.
Chad, you may be working more physical comedy dates than them. They're making far more money. So basically, your only flex on Chrissy and Karl and Gino and all these guys is I'm working more than they are for less money.
And I can rock a captain's hat.
He's so much like Stuttering John, you had to throw a stutter in there.
Can I tell you something? That was an accident. It
Chad,
just came out of me talking about Chad.
Chad, you're bragging about how you're working more dates for less money. I don't think that's the own you thought it was, Chad. Oh, he's too easy. He's too easy.
The three of them combined, I guarantee I made more money doing stand-up comedy than the three of them combined did.
Chrissy made what? Oh, God.
Did you miss that?
I think he said did. Then they combined did. He's just an idiot. He can't help it.
I don't know.
Chrissy made more on one stream than you've made in the last 6 months podcast or doing comedy. I promise you, Chad.
And she doesn't have a rental futon.
That's true.
She
doesn't
has
have
a
a
very nice studio.
Right. She doesn't have a rent-a-center futon. It looks very nice where she broadcasts from.
Yes.
Combined, yes.
Okay, so there's the guys from Insufferable Bastards. By the way, subscribe to those guys.
They're
Go check
great.
out their channel. They do great coverage on that kind of stuff. No, people are saying you're right. I heard it different. I heard it combined did.
I think if you were
But
to
other
go,
people are saying they said combined did.
if you were to go back and listen again, I think they said combined did.
I want to right now on this show, and this might bother some people. I want to apologize to Gino Bisconte.
I hope he hears this.
Gino Bisconte Chad Zumock makes Gino Bisconte look like George Carlin, and I'm sorry for thinking Gino was as bad as I thought he was.
Are you saying Anthony made the right decision?
No. I still think he's an absolute cancer when it comes to his interpersonal relationships. But as a comedic performer, Chad Zumock makes him look like a Hall of Famer.